I don't know about you, but I'm trying to understand the false facade of what's going on now in professional sports, college sports, just sports in general. Sports talk has gotten so out of control, people are trying to understand exactly what's going on. And the funny thing is, when a narrative is created, it's almost like a lie is being told that no one is checking until you have people that want to step out into the middle of the fray and say, you know what, enough is enough. And the crazy thing is, looking at what this young man has had to deal with, or better yet, not necessarily deal with, but just brush it off his shoulder. Because it don't make him no never mind, because he's going to get out there and do what he got to do regardless. It doesn't matter what everybody else is saying, the noise in the background. He's not paying that no attention. He's doing the things that he need to do to make sure he continue to keep moving in the same trajectory in which he's looking to excel. You know what? Your favorite coach is back bringing you some more of this news that I just got to get out there to you. I mean, let me entertain you just for a little while to get you to understand exactly what's going down and why so many of these people are up in arms. Or better yet, the phrase that I like to use is why they draw so tight when it comes to certain individuals out here playing sports, doing that thing that they love to do and just making things happen for themselves. Yeah, sometimes you got that powerful figure that's in the background that's able to make a few, make a few phone calls, kick up a little dust, make some noise back there to get everybody's attention to understand, you know what? I need y'all to stand down for a little while and watch this thing unravel as everybody get a glimpse of exactly what's going on. I'm sure y'all like, Coach, what in the heck are you talking about? Listen to me. This Shedeur Sanders thing has gotten far beyond out of control. And I'm going to tell you right now, I got to give my take on this, because enough is enough. Enough is enough. We got to go ahead and talk about this thing. So guess what? If you're ready, go ahead, make sure you tune in, tap in, tell a friend. We about to go ahead and jump on in this thing. And we're going to kick this thing off right now. This is another episode of Blow the Whistle with your favorite coach, Coach Walker, on the Tomorrow Leader Sports Network platform. I should have had this one ready for you guys yesterday. I do apologize, but I just felt like the energy wasn't there. And I had to give you that energy so you can understand where I'm coming from. Because I don't want to be sitting here, the young man is just out there trying to do the best that he can, and they're not giving him a chance, and I don't understand what's going on. No, we ain't on that type of time. We're not on that type of time. Oh heck no, we ain't doing that. I'm coming in this thing right now. I'm about to kick your drawers in and get you to understand enough is enough. It's tired of playing around with this thing. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get on in this thing, because here it is. See, the funny thing is, everybody thought it was a joke when Shedeur Sanders dropped to the 5th round in NFL draft. They figured like, this is about where he needed to go. He wasn't really a first-round draft pick. There's so many other quarterbacks that was better than him. And all of these individuals, I got to start with this first. You've heard me say this before, but I'm trying to understand where's all the noise at now from the individuals that was bigging him up so much, making it seem like he is what they think that he's not. And I say that because I saw this article in Yahoo Sports. TJ Houshmandzadeh, former wide receiver from the Cincinnati Bengals, was talking about how, Shedeur Sanders is falling in the depth chart or whatever have you. And, talking about the stats as far as the numbers that he, the passes he was completing out there on the field. Where was that against the ones? Where, was it against like the 4s and the 5s, or the 3s and the 4s, the 2s and 3s? Was he really going up against competition out there on the field? We got to be real with you. This young man, and there's a lot of other athletes out there that have been, I'm going to say, misdiagnosed. Yeah, I know that was like a doctor's term where, somebody going in there and get checked for a fever or something like that. But hear me out now. Reason why I say misdiagnosed is because of the fact that, one, we tend to get this feeling about a person. We did this when we was kids. It's like, man, I can't stand Johnny ass over there. He always got something to say about somebody, and I just don't understand why he always got to come in here with all that negativity or all that chaos and crazy stuff that's going on. I need Johnny to go on somewhere, man. I'm sick of him. But when it came time, when they came knocking on that door, they knocking on the door, say, hey, Johnny, hey, come on outside, brother. I got to ask you a question. When they get to knocking on that door, trying to find out, they getting Johnny, they getting Billy, and they getting Ralph and everybody together so they can get an understanding of what's really going on. So now when you got the circle of everybody that's been conversating going on, everybody, And now guess what? It's time for people to stand up and say, hey, look, this is what's really going down. I say all of that to say this. These young men that are coming out of college right now, the NFL does not understand how to deal with them. Why do I say that? Because now you have athletes that are they're following. They're the people that have been pouring into them since they started their collegiate sports careers. They're wanting to see their favorite athletes hit the field, hit the court, hit the diamond. Want to see them out there participating and playing, showing everybody that what they saw in their favorite athlete is the same thing that they're seeing now, that they want to see now that they're going to pay their hard-earned money to go out there and watch play. Now, I understand everybody want to say, hey, man, Kenny Pickett's going to be that guy. Bro, let me break something down to you. Kenny Pickett spent, 2 seasons with Pittsburgh Steelers? Had, 4,000 yards in 2 seasons, 13 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. I'm trying to understand here. I'm like, okay, you spent all of that time over there with Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh found it necessary to trade you to Philadelphia Eagles. Got your Philadelphia Eagles, cool. You won your Super Bowl playing behind Jalen Hurts. Cool, no big deal. Then it comes Dylan Gabriel. I believe he was third, fourth in the Heisman Trophy award this past season. Bumped around from a couple of schools. He played in multiple schools, whatever have you. And had 6 years eligibility, to play, in collegiate football. Ain't mad at him about none of that. But when I look at the body of work of everything that's going on, you got to ask yourself the question. You got to ask yourself this. We've watched Shedeur Sanders play at Jackson State. Everybody had a rhyme or reason and said, he ain't really playing against nobody. I got a question. When will it ever be when will it ever be said that this young man has seen competition? I mean, we watched him go out there on the field when he, played for Colorado first season. He took a beating the first season. He took a beating the second season as well. But that young man was, I would say, at freaking least 80% of that offense. Because they're trying to show you that this kid is durable, as well as he's capable of getting that ball down the field. Now, all of the, he's only, he throws the ball to the line of scrimmage 35% of the time. Well, if that's the check down that's available for him to do, what is it you're expecting him to do? Are you looking for him to chuck that thing down the field to throw an interception? See, it's almost like you're trying to burn the candle at both ends to try to, make your point sound like it's relevant, like it's on par as far as how you're trying to dissect this kid and make it look like it's something that it's not. Well, he's out here now, OTAs, mini camp. He's doing what he got to do, learning the playbook, so on and so forth. And the completions, he's showing you that his completion rate is on point, is on par with what he was doing in college. Now, will we see the same thing when the preseason hit? Hey, we've yet to see that yet, but I'm sure it's coming. But let me back up to the whole thing as far as with the NFL and these coaches and these organizations not understanding how to deal with these athletes coming out of college that have the backing as well as the NIL funding behind their names as far as with what they got going on. See, I honestly believe that we've watched so long these coaches come in these NFL organizations, and they've been able to give subpar performance. They've been able to give a subpar, I want to say a subpar meal. Fellas, how, no disrespect to the ladies out there, because you got a lot of ladies out there can cook as well as men. But I'm sure, and just like the ladies, they want to make sure that steak is cooked just right. If they say medium rare, they're not looking for a dry steak to come out there on their plate. They're looking for that bad boy to come out there with the juices and herbs and, the juices on the plate and whatever have you, where, you can sit there and look at that juice, look at that steak sitting in that juice like, man, that thing looks succulent. But then when you got the dry steak, they come out there and everybody looking like, bro, what happened to the meal? Yeah, a lot of these coaches, they've been able to collect these big checks, call themselves big-time chefs, and been delivering a bunch of trash. And then turn around and get recycled back through the system again to become head coaches all over again. And I'm trying to understand, all of, like I said, the narratives, the narrative. The narratives was, coaches were afraid to draft the kid because they were afraid of if Coach Prime was going to come out and want to get their jobs. Guys, look, let me break something down for you. if you went out there and did your job, you wouldn't have to worry about Coach Prime trying to come get your job. I mean, it would more so be, what's being required of you to get the team prepared and ready for them to get out there and compete and win some games. See, throwing money at situations is only going to get worse for the Cleveland Browns. Why do I say this? Because let's look at another team here, the Atlanta Falcons. And I'm going to get back to the whole thing about the NIL and the following that these college athletes have. Now, I'm still on that point, but I'm hitting the block and I'm getting ready to circle back around and tag that thing. See, looking at the Atlanta Falcons, you had Kirk Cousins, who has hit a serious lick off these daggone NFL organizations, contracts he's received. I mean, the free agent contract where they gave him, trying to think of the word that they gave him, where he wasn't on a contract, but they held him and they had to pay him a big dollar amount for a year, for a season. And then they did it again, a second season. They had to pay him. And then the Atlanta Falcons go get a quarterback that's coming off an Achilles tear, and you give him $100 million contract. This is the bogus stuff that people are looking at while they're saying, like, hey, you know what? These people ain't trying to win. They just sitting here blowing smoke up everybody behind and just want you to come in there and just continue to keep giving them your money for the entertainment that they're putting out there on the field. See, people don't understand that the new age athlete, they're looking to come in there and win. And that's the type of athlete you see with the Shedeur Sanders, the Travis Hunters, Cam Wards, and the young man that went to the Raiders, the Genty, the running back that went to the Raiders. This is the type of attitude that you see from these athletes now. They don't want to come out there and get the lose and get their draws kicked in and week out. They're looking to win. And I think that's something that a lot of these coaches don't understand. It's almost like they're on a retirement plan if by chance the organization is not, nudging them in the back like, hey, man, y'all need to do something. We're giving you all this freaking money. You need to get these boys in here to play some ball. And sooner or later, people got to understand that time for change is here. Shedeur Sanders told people, hey, listen, if you don't want me to come in there and change your organization, then don't draft me. So instead of people understanding that tape that he gave, they want to take it and flip it. Oh, he came in and gave a terrible interview. Oh, he came in, he wasn't prepared. He wasn't this, he wasn't that. I'm still waiting on the daggone film. I mean, we got a lot of folks that want to go AI with this thing and produce some trash out here that's trying to make it look like something that is not. I want to see some concrete information as far as what did this young man say. Matter of fact, all of these, my source, my unnamed source. Don't be an unnamed source. Put your name on it. Just like we talk about Billy, Ralph, James, and all of them, they had to come together and talk. Put your freaking name on it, come step to the front. The world wants to know. Because there's a lot of these people out here trying to figure out, okay, hey, what exactly is the Cleveland Browns going to do with this young man? Now, the reason why I say all of that, why people are so enamored as far as with seeing this young man succeed, because of the following that he's had, that he's grown since high school football, going to Jackson State, going to Colorado, and here he is in the pros. Somewhere a lot of people thought and felt that he would not make it to. And guess what? He showed y'all he was able to do that just as well. So now the $1 million question is, what are you guys going to do? I mean, you keep saying that, hey, man, we're trying to make sure that we train them up and get them ready to go out there on the field and be prepared to play the quarterback position. That's the same thing Penix heard here in Atlanta. And then he go out there on the field, and what do you do? Turn it up. Turn it up. You got a quarterback back there you're paying $100 million to that's like a statue that can't move. I understand you want to hold on to the quarterback that came, Flacco. I understand you want to hold on to Flacco. You want to make sure you keep him there. You got Deshaun Watson that you gave Deshaun Watson a guaranteed contract. I understand all of that. I understand you went and got Kenny Pickett, brought him in here. I'm still trying to understand why. Why did you go get Kenny Pickett? See, it's almost like you guys are setting yourselves up for failure. You don't want to see growth. It's almost like you are afraid to grow. you are afraid to excel. No wonder why you had the defensive end. He decided to take the mega contract instead of making sure that the team get the players in there so that you can go ahead and compete for a championship. Why he took that big contract? Because he know y'all gonna do exactly what you're doing. Fumble it again. All this madness about, oh, well, we'll wait and see what the quarterback room gonna look like next year. We could probably get Arch Manning. Let me tell y'all something. The Manning family gonna tell y'all we ain't coming. If they can pull an Eli once, they'll pull it again. Trust me. And I'm willing to bet you nobody gonna speak on it this time. Y'all just gonna sit there and overlook it like it wasn't said. But because Deion Sanders said it, or everybody had a problem with it. I had a problem with that too. I got to be real with you. I did have an issue with that. I got to be honest with you. I had an issue with that. Cause I'm like, man, wherever it is you land. Go ahead, go play ball and do your thing. But when you sit and begin to understand exactly the makeup of the program, makeup of the organization, the makeup starts from the top. You know how they always say it's roll downhill, right? Well, boy, hey, y'all been having it's roll downhill for a mighty long freaking time. I mean, daggone, we had Bernie Kosar and Kevin Mack in the backfield, and you had them receivers out there doing their thing, catching them passes coming from Bernie Kosar. You guys should have been in contention to win something. Get to the playoffs. It was always a play. It was always bad luck. It was always something that stopped you from doing it. Now you got a quarterback that's trying to come in here and shake this thing up, and he got everybody buying into what's going on. And we still got unanswered questions. I get it, though. I get it. Hey, media is a beautiful thing because guess what? Social media wasn't this prevalent before. Now, everybody's going to be talking about what's going on. And trust and believe, coaches, if you thought your behind was on the hot seat before, you ain't got to worry about it. The fans going to do it to you. You ain't got to worry about Deion Sanders. The fans gonna put that. The fans gonna light that flame up underneath your seat. It's gonna be so freaking hot by game 5. It ain't gonna be funny. And then everybody gonna be scrambling. Hey, let's go ahead and make sure we got packages together to put him out there. Don't try to make the young man look bad when you put him out there after the fact that everybody's telling you they see what you're refusing to look at right now. But everybody's gonna ride the wave. We're gonna see how it's gonna go. But I tell you this. Let's back off with the goofy stuff as far as this young man gonna get released, this, that, and the third is gonna happen. I'm like, it's almost like a new narrative every week. Houshmandzadeh, I'm like, where in the heck did that come from? You're trying to tell me that Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel are better quarterbacks than Shedeur? Understand the fact that Deshaun Watson is hurt. Deshaun Watson, I don't believe, was the same Deshaun Watson that he was a year and a half before everything took place, where he got caught up in that scandal in Houston, in Houston, Texas, with all that madness he had going on, and then had to sit out. I believe there was something going on with that young man there, and he was able to mask that because of the athletes that he had out there on the field with him. When he got to Cleveland, there was nothing there. It was a bare cupboard. So again, we can sit back and say, oh, we gave money to a sad product. No. You gave money to someone that you thought was going to come in and bail your program out. Get in there and get the necessary pieces in there so that you can be successful. And then you ain't got to worry about all this extra stuff that's going on. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and leave that alone because, like I said, I'm just going to sit back and ride this wave. I just want to see how it was going on. I figured I had to go ahead and talk on this because I hadn't given you guys anything on that in a minute. But you know what, Coach? Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you tune in, tap in, tell a friend to like, share, subscribe. This is on the Tomorrow Leader Sports Network platform. And understand, integrity is free, 24 hours a day. The $1 million question is, are you willing to show the people that you have it? Or are you going to keep trying to pump fake and act like it ain't really going on? I mean, seize the moment. Understand what's going on. Hey, take the plunge. Be willing to jump out there in traffic and show everybody, you can get things done. It don't hurt. A little sweat equity here and there. You got to put in. You got to put something in to get something back. Y'all know how it go. But hey, again, I'm going to go ahead and get up on out of here. And I hopefully, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this show. But like I said, this is another episode of Blow the Whistle with your favorite coach, Coach Walker. And with that being said, we out of here. Peace.